And at this point, if your zombie does happen to die because he's slightly injured, then you want to head straight back up to your trample steam and get back to the Buddha room. But in this case, he does survive, so we're pretty good to go. And as we saw before, sometimes the zombies will respawn and climb up the side of the elevator. In this case, he does get on top with me here, so I have to be very, very careful. It's always good when they freeze out like that and just stand there. In this case, since the recent patch, sometimes they'll just stand there the whole trip up, but they used to freeze until about halfway up and then start chasing you. Okay, so we're going to have to head back up to the starting area to get to the mystery box. So we're going to catch one of these elevators. And okay, I've got the zombie here, so we're just going to kill him off. And I'm going to buy back Who's Who first as well. So you want to make sure you remember to buy that back, because it is pretty important. So you want to try and use Who's Who as much as you can, unless you really do have to fall back on your quick revive. In the high rounds, if you're in a situation where you can revive yourself, try and use the Who's Who to do it, so you get back all your perks and everything, your guns and that. But if you know it's going to be too dangerous or impossible to revive yourself using Who's Who, all you have to do is basically run away until your character bleeds out, so that your Who's Who character survives, and then your quick revive will kick in and you'll come back good as gold as well, but you'll use up your quick revive if that happens, so that's the only downside. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the elevators to get back in position for me to climb, to ride them back up to get to the starting area, and then we'll be able to go down the passageway to the mystery room. The mystery box, not the mystery room. Maybe it is a mystery room, I don't know. But yeah, running the mystery box in this map is pretty annoying. This original location where it's located is the easiest. Potentially you could run this spot mid-round if you had to. The main thing is, if you were to get to a point in a high round where no other weapons would kill zombies except for the liquefier, and you did happen to run out of ammo in the liquefier, you would have the problem of having to re-roll the liquefier in the mystery box to get it back again with full ammo. And in this map that can be difficult because, one, you've got to, get to the mystery box first with all the zombies respawning around you everywhere in close quarter areas. And then when you get to the mystery box, you're going to have to run the whole horde of zombies around while you hit it. Possibly many, many times to get the liquefier back once you put it back in there. And in this area you could run a train. It wouldn't be that much of a problem. But in the other two locations that the mystery box can move to, it would be almost impossible to run a full 24 zombie train while you re-roll the box. So what you would have to do is you would have to do kind of a one-hit mission and then go right around the whole map, come back and hit it one more time, which would just take forever. So I'm very, very interested to see if people come up with a strategy to somehow manage that effectively. But personally, I don't think it's really going to be possible. So it's all about ammo management, I guess. We finally get monkeys, and now we are set up in terms of every piece of equipment and weapon we have that we will need for high rounds in this map. So we're not going to have to buy any more weapons. We're not going to have to get any more pieces of equipment or any perks or anything like that. Now, monkeys are obviously going to be useful. If you get in a situation, for instance, where you get hit numerous times and you have the red screen going, where you know that one more hit's going to kill you, you might want to throw out a monkey right there, obviously. Also, if you know that you're going to get cornered and killed, like you run yourself into a situation you know, oh, I'm definitely going to get downed here, make sure you throw a monkey bomb, because that way, as long as you place it reasonably well, your Who's Who is going to have a much easier chance of reviving your character. But also they're good for the usual stuff, like you know, if you get a max ammo, you can throw one so that you can, you know, pick it up easy and stuff like that. So, as I said before, guys, a lot of this stuff is really very basic zombie tactics and that, but I always explain these things in my high round strategy guides just to help people out who might be having trouble and needing to use such a guide. So we are still going to try and camp here a little bit, just because we do have the Pack-a-Punch AK, and it's got a reasonable amount of ammo here at the moment. But we don't really need the points or anything like that. So you could certainly start training with the Sliquifier at this point as well, if that was more your style. Personally, I like to camp where I can in zombies. I personally find it a little bit more fun and more satisfying than running trains. Like, you basically are exploiting the zombie movement by running trains, but it is perfectly legitimate. It's very clever. It does require a little bit of skill, so I've got no problem with running trains. Obviously I do it a lot, but when I can camp, I like to camp. And in some maps you have to camp to get anywhere. Like if you've seen my custom zombies videos, like there are some maps that you can't run trains in. If you want to beat them, you have to camp, especially playing solo. Okay, so we get an insta-kill here. There's not that many zombies left to kill, so I'm just going to demonstrate here how you unlock the red insta-kill perma-perk, or persistence ability, as Treyarch call them. So basically, when you get an insta-kill, you don't want to kill any zombies at all while the insta-kill is active. And you'll need to do this twice, basically, and then you'll hear the little music cue, or whatever you want to call it, that basically tells you that you've got it unlocked. So we've done it there with one insta-kill where we haven't killed any zombies during the insta-kill, and we just need one more and then we'll have the red insta-kill the rock. So, you know, it's good to have it, but you lose it almost straight away if you use it, so it's not really practical, but it is good fun when you do have it. Okay, so we'll probably camp here a couple more rounds of that. We'll see how we go with ammo, actually, because as you can see, I've only got basically one mag left in this gun, and then we're gonna have to go down and start running trains with the Sliquifier. Okay, so we are out of ammo. I'm just going to jump down here now and we're going to run trains in this spot. This one corner of the room where I am here, guys, I'm just moving out of it now, but that one corner is a good spot to start your train. But, you know, do what you feel comfortable with. But I like to start the train there because the zombies will only come from one direction, to your left, if you start there. And then you can move down and around, and I like to do a kind of big figure eight, or a loop if it's safe, but usually a figure eight. While we're watching this, I'll explain how the Sliquifier works, because this is quite important to know this so that you can get the most out of it and try and maximize your ammo usage and get the most kills with it and that. Basically, think of it as kind of like an infection. So it will spread from zombie to zombie. Once you shoot a zombie, that purple liquid will spread from zombie to zombie to those zombies in the vicinity of the exploding zombie, if that makes sense. So what that means is if you get the zombies in a tight enough group around where you first use it on a zombie, and they're spawning in fast enough, you can almost get a continual stream of zombies getting killed by a single shot. And you may have seen strategies where people run trains in very small, tight areas of this map, and they basically almost use just one single shot to get through a whole round, even in high rounds. So that is really the best way to use the Sliquify. In a big area like this room, you're going to take out, the whole wave of 24 zombies very easily, but it's not quite so easy to get a continual stream of zombies that get killed by one Sliquify blast after you kill the first 24. But it is easily the safest train location in the entire map. So it has that advantage if you're not super confident of training in close quarters. But later on, guys, I will show you probably the most effective close quarters area of this map for training in high rounds to make sure that you get a lot of kills with one shot of the Sliquify. But that will come later. Okay, so with that max ammo that we just got off the minion round, we're just going to camp here for a little bit longer, just because it's fun, something different, breaks up the game a little bit. But you may have noticed there that I didn't jump across this time to the trample steam with that minion round. And the reason for that is that I don't want to get stuck over there if the trample steam does happen to get destroyed at this point in the game. It's a bit too high and too risky. So obviously with a gun like the AK-74, basically any gun really in the game is eventually going to stop killing zombies, except for the wonder weapon, i.e. the Sliquify. So past, let's say round 70 or 80, almost every other gun is going to have absolutely no effect on zombies in terms of killing them. You're going to have to use the Sliquify. So for that reason, gun choice is not really super essential if you're looking to the late game strategy, except for having the Sliquify. The only thing that I would look for in a secondary gun is mobility. So you probably want to, get an SMG. Probably the best gun, in my opinion, in terms of mobility that you can have as a secondary for running around with is the Shi No. I like to have it Pack-a-Punch. It's probably my all-time favorite secondary primary in Black Ops 2 Zombies is the Shi No Pack-a-Punch with select fire. So you can turn it to full automatic for the insta-kill rounds. And of course Mustang and Sally is always a good choice as well. Probably not quite so much in Black Ops 2 where we don't have floppy yet. That we can buy anyway. So I'm just running across here doing a bit of an ammo run for the AK.
Mr. Monkey to target to